Guys, all I can say is two things. One, buckle up. And two, I hope you brewed your coffee just a little bit stouter this morning because, oh, sweet Jesus. Okay. So we had no chilling songs this morning. We're just going to get right straight into it because they're just, I think we had like bombshell after bombshell after bombshell happened last night. It was to the point where, honestly, you know, the show ended with Dave last night. We had a great show. I mean, just a fan freaking tastic show. We do have a lot to talk about, Zolly. 1000%, girl. We have a lot to talk about. The show ended. Dave and I was just hanging out in the chat. We were having, we're just bullshitting, as friends do. Dave and I are friends. We're buddies. Um, and we're just hanging out. We're just having a good time, just bullshitting as people do. And then the first thing that we started happening was Jessica Pizzle. Now, before I get started on all this, I want to make something perfectly clear. Excuse me. I busted Jessica Pizzle's balls a little bit yesterday. That's what I do, right? I bust balls. But I'm going to let you guys in a little secret. If Peepaw's busting your balls, it's because Peepaw likes you. He sees something in you that is good, that is unique, that is, I think, something worth cultivating and nurturing and hopefully encouraging to come forth. I like Jessica. 100%, I do like Jessica. I think she's a very fun spirit. I think she is a I think she is she's a I think she is a decent person, but I think Jessica gets focused and fixated on the wrong things. Now, I don't know if Jessica's intentions were this or not. I don't want to put things in her mouth. I don't want to speak for Jessica because I think only Jessica can speak for Jessica. But in her video that she made that we watched, a portion of yesterday on the stream here, and on her subsequent tirade that she went on last night on Twitter, just just destroying and burning bridges in her own words that she did. Um, Honestly, it comes across as a situation where she is wanting to make everything about her. She's wanting everything. I know some people call that clout, gobbling and so on and so forth. Um, and again, anybody that makes content, myself included, I've covered this. There's a certain level of narcissism about us, right? Because we feel like what we have to say is important enough that people should be watching and listening to us, right? Um, so, you know, I get that, right? But I think if you allow that part of you to be too big of a part of you, it will ultimately lead to your downfall or your your fall. And I think sadly, I think that's what happened with the Pizzle Pop. So anyway, she puts out some tweets. She let's see here. Let me because I don't really have any of those. Let's see, where is she at here? Let me scroll down through here. Let's see here. All right, we'll just start through here. We'll go through this. Is it going to work tonight? Of course not. Son of Bitch. Yes, it's CJ Brown. If you're watching, yes, I know. switch to OBS. I do use OBS, but I use it for my cam podcast with Banana, and so to keep things separate, so I don't have to quit changing profiles and accounts in the software itself. I just use slobs. I don't necessarily like slobs. I've looked at other streaming software out there. I don't like it either, so I'm just making do with what it is, right? But I may just have to do what else? Just tell the fucking story. Oh my god. Oh my god, Dave. Okay. Um. So anyway, so Jessica, she comes out here and she was saying that she'd gotten comments about you got paid by Cooter, that it wasn't Salvo money, and that minimized everything I went through. I'm tired of people minimizing it to the money where I said it over and over, the issue, even in this video, and yet people are basically saying, so what, you got dogpile by S&T and community, you got paid, get over it. Okay. And then she goes on to follow that up and she says, I'm about to burn all the bridges, baby. I don't give a fuck. And then she goes on this thing about, she goes, does anyone else want to say I use Matt's mother passing for attention? Let me know in the comments so I can help you out the door too. Ma'am, excuse me. She follows that up. She says, Matt Pitt, do you want to add to the Jessica used my dead mom for attention train? Because that seems to be the narrative people took away from your little response video. I'm not playing that bullshit rumor mill game. Then she's got a few responses here. She says, Run here says you should delete this, kind of doing exactly what you're denying doing. No, I won't fucking stand for anyone thinking I used his mom for attention. And if you think me weeding out people who feel that way is somehow seeking attention, you can catch that block too. Matt says, Jessica, he quote tweeted her, but because she blocked him anyway. Says, Jessica, you're bad faith. You can only care about yourself. And you did this because wanted to feel vindicated. I don't care that you mentioned my mom, but I've lost energy to even try to entertain an argument with you. And Jessica reply says, I asked a pretty simple question, but if you are cool with the rumor going around and don't care to even say shit, then peace. So she blocks him. When she does that, Matt tweets out, finally, peace and quiet. He goes on to say, I never called out Jessica for mentioning my mom, just shat on her for it because I knew when I brought it up to her, it made her angry because she saw it as an argument rather than the truth. Jessica, stop rumors about me, Matt. Hannah Clark says she's trying to put blame on Matt when it's a take. Come on, I come up with based on her video, literally saying outlandish stuff for attention. Matt goes on to say she'll never stop. She just keeps going and going and going. This is all started because I called Salvo to ask about if Jessica was going to get paid or not. So I will not be addressing Jessica in any semblance of good faith ever again. And then finally, Jessica says, I can take a lot. I've taken a lot, but I can't take knowing it's not just randos who think so low of me, but people like Hannah and others I respected. It was good while it lasted. I can't take this. And she says goodbye. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know if she's taking a break. I don't know if this means that she is permanently exiting stage right when it comes to the world of social media and being online, Twitter, so on and so forth. I don't know. I personally hope she takes just a few minutes to catch her breath, to maybe calm down a little bit. And I do hope she comes back because, like I said, I do like Jessica. I do like her energy. And I hope that she does not leave our little part of the world here on Twitter. Anyway, so there we go. That's the whole Jessica Pizzle update as we go. She got off Twitter for like 10 minutes. Okay. And then she came back. All right. Well, good. At least she's back in there doing her thing, and whatever. People can not engage with her. People can engage with her. Whatever. That's their choices. Um, I personally like having her around, and so there's that. Now the other big bombshell that dropped last night, guys. So my buddy Willie says, just talk to Salvo. We can all agree on one thing. So here's this little conversation between them yesterday. He says, Happy New Year's. Amazing. Salvo says, Amazing New Year. Willie says, Yeah, man, I don't know what to even say. As long as we all agree that CJ is retarded. And Salvo says, Big time. Well, that was the first thing, right? That was the first indication, really. I mean, Keemstar had said that he had been talking to Salvo. He called in on Tommy's show, I think it was, where he said that he had been talking to Salvo. They had been in conversation. He flaunted the fact that when he calls Salvo, that he picks up the phone. Edwin would try to reach out to him and he wouldn't. That type of thing. Kind of throwing a little bit of a dig there, I think, at Edwin and stuff, right? And anyway, so that, like I said, so we knew Salvo was out there. We knew that people were in correspondence with him and talking with him and so forth, right? And then last night, while we were sitting there, Dave and I was sitting there bullshitting and stuff, this happens. So Salvo tweets out. He says, "Well, this can't stand." Well, what can't stand? And here it is. This is from the Clip Live subreddit. It says, How are we all feeling on Salvo's downfall drama? Long time coming, in my opinion. I never liked him, and I'm glad to say that. Okay. And Nicholas Diorio comments on this post on this subreddit, says, Good. So Salvo puts this out there. He goes, Well, this can't stand. Nicholas replies that says, Pretty girl, right? Calvos even comments on this and puts a little meme gif up there, says, size. He goes, Somehow Palpatine returned, equating that, Salvo is the evil villain from the Star Wars galaxy. Several people started coming at him, saying, to drink pee, memeing him with, what is this guy's name? Shit, I can't remember anyway. Says, rest in piss. Augusto here says, release the piss tapes and the flamenco call. 8030 says, hey, welcome back. A lot of people, a lot of piss memes. Just more, a lot of memeing, a lot of so on and so forth on Salvo. Okay. Well, Salvo said, into some of these things, I guess, says it doesn't taste that bad. Captain Poofer says, so where do you go from here, Salvo? Because we all know how fucked you are. I'm wondering if you got a heads up on what's going on and a possible lawsuit that's heading your way. Nicholas Teoro says, is a rumor true your wife is recently single? D-Max even getting into the mix here a little bit says, I hope they ate asparagus. And Leah says, has a little meme here, says, yeah, Salvo right now. So anyway, so yeah, so far, I think it's kind of been a very, very mixed reception for Salvo, his return, as it were. A lot of memeing, a lot of mocking, ridiculing. It's going to be very interesting, I think, for me anyway, seeing how Salvo handles all this memeing and stuff, because he subjected so many people to it for so long, So, as the old saying here in the South, sauce for the goose, a sauce for the gander, right? So we're going to see how Salvo handles this. We're going to see And luckily for us, we are going to get a little bit of an insight into all this, right? Because two things. One, Salvo tweets this out where he sent a DM to Tommy C saying, I'll do shot from the point tomorrow. And he quote tweets this, tags Matt Pitt in it, and Matt says, I'll let you know. So does that mean that we're going to get a SFTP show today with Salvo on it? I think that's probably a very good assumption. So all I can say is if you want to see yeah, Epstein, you're right. You're right, D-Max. I don't know why that name slipped my mind, but it did. So I think tuning in to SFTP today could be very interesting. All right. However, we don't have to wait that long. Now, I have a stream here in front of me, and this stream was 2 hours and 22 minutes in length. I did not get this till this morning when it was sent to me. I do have some timestamps. I have not had a chance to listen to any of this really. I did have it kind of playing in the background when I was trying to rapidly throw together a thumbnail this morning. Because I didn't want just a blanket thumbnail. I wanted a more accurate thumbnail about what the stream is going to be about today. And so I just threw one together. It's I may have to go back and fix that later on. Okay, so Zadi says supposedly yes, there should be. They talked to Tommy this morning. Nice. Okay, good. No disrespect, no shade or anything like that to Assistant Sailor, because we're fixing to watch the stream a little bit of it. Because like I said, I've got some timestamps and stuff. We'll see what's going on, but I've never heard this person before, but that doesn't mean anything, right? I really do. I've got to broaden my horizons, as they say a little bit. But anyway, so there is a channel named Assistant Sailor. He has 736 subs. And he was streaming last night, and Salvo called him to the stream. Now, so let's get into it. Let's listen to what happens, and like I said, we'll listen to part of it, whatever, and then we'll jump to some of these timestamps because there was some interesting stuff I feel like happens at the front. At least what I listened to, was able to this morning while I was working on the thumbnail. So let's just get into it without any further delay.
You there?
What's up, Assistant Sailor?
Dude, I'm glad you decided to not be boring and join the fucking stream, man. You don't want to fucking wait for Tommy.
You know I can't be boring. You know that.
I know you can't be boring. That's you're G like that. So
yep.
You know. So what's all this stuff that's been going down? You know, like doxing, these allegations of doxing. How'd you find out about this? Did this Parking Tigers fellow tell you about all this shit or what?
It's been common knowledge in certain circles for 4 years.
Like your Discord server, or what servers is it common knowledge in?
I guess I should ask, what are you asking about?
Like the Parking Tigers docs, right? Or what everybody's saying it docs.
Oh, yeah, that's been common knowledge in Red Bar's circle for 4 years.
It's common knowledge, you're saying?
It's literally common knowledge.
Okay, so what he's referring to here, just for some context, because there is Salvo has doxed Parking Tigers. All right. He's tweeted out his information. He's tweeted out a picture of him and so forth. I'm not showing it. I'm not a part of that. I don't know if that is a thing that Parking Tigers had made known himself. And because I don't know that for 100% certainty, I'm not going to show that. But that's what they're talking about.
knowledge. Yep.
All right.
But
All right, well,
ultimately, if you want to call it a dox, I don't care.
all right. I mean, fair enough. And I mean, I guess you're just chill with the fact that you know, people are saying you've doxed all these other people as well. You know, like Chris, Xylee, Brantley, like all these other people. Like you don't really care.
Xylee?
Or no, not Xylee. Sorry, yeah, that was a misspeak.
I doxed Chris's first and last name.
Yeah. I assume you're chill with that. You did that. You admit.
Who cares? Who cares about Chris? Who cares about Chris the Narc's first and last name? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I guess fair enough.
Chris doesn't even care. First and last name, Cry Me a River.
Yeah, I got you.
So here's the thing that you, in case you guys did not know, with Salvo's been very above board on this. That, and a lot of people from that Red Bar community believe that saying a person's real name, first and last name, is not a dox. They don't consider that as doxing. So
I got you. What about the piss play? Are you? Is that confirmed, or is this aloe bitch kind of crazy?
Well, I personally would never call any female crazy. I'm a lover of females, obviously.
Yeah.
What's your question? I mean, you saw the messages. What do you think?
Well, are they real? That's the question I would ask.
Are the messages real? I haven't seen the messages.
What do you haven't seen the messages?
I haven't watched any content.
You haven't? Hello.
Completely MIA.
All right. I see that. So, what about?
So Dimmer Boy says, didn't he cry about Slug and AC using his name? Yes, he did. But what I think a lot of people don't understand is when he did that, right? That's all part of his character, right? And so he fakes outrage at that type of stuff, right? To point the absurdity of it, right? Because again, to him, saying a person's real name doesn't mean anything, right? But to people, say like myself or others in the community that hold the stance that, you know, that saying a person's legal name is a form of doxing, right? It's to him, it's like we're pearl clutching, you know. And so when he does that, he's trying to show the silliness to him, you know, how it's nothing. It's a nothing burger, right? So that's what that's about there, Dimmer Boy. Okay.
I mean, I guess you haven't seen any of the messages, but there's alleging that you've engaged in like age role play with I don't remember, with Repzion's ex-girlfriend. Have you had any sexual messages with Repzion's ex-girlfriend?
Yeah. Well, you kind of asked a question and then kind of blanketed with another question there. Age play, that's a funny one. I'll show the full context of that.
Okay.
And I don't think I'll be the one with egg on my face. So no, I did not.
Hello? I think you're cutting out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So yeah, did you now you cut out there. Did you sex this Maya person? Because she seems kind of fucking insane and crazy, so.
Yes.
You did? All right. Is it true that you no longer, or is it true that that your wife blocked Brantley or whatever the fuck and all that dog shit?
I can't speak for my wife. I have no idea.
You can't speak? All right. Oh, fuck. I don't want... I should not have... I don't want these people in here. Can I just, like, private call you or whatever?
Yeah, I'll...
All right, cool. Thank you. All right, we're back.
Okay.
Cool. So what's commentary look like going forward for you? Or you just
I haven't listened to the Keemstar part. Well, I know here in a little bit he talks about, you know, the pending lawsuit, whatever, and Salvo says he doesn't know anything about it. I also know that yes, we have timestamps where Keemstar calls in, Chris calls in, Nick calls in, and some more accusation of Salvo. So yeah. So we will get to all that, Zolly.
just done altogether, or what?
No, why would I be done? I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, yeah.
See right there, guys. That's kind of what I expected was going to happen. If Salvo came back, he was going to take the stance that, well, I haven't done anything wrong. What? Right? It's that's the thing about that's. How do I put? You cannot hold his feet to the fire about things because he doesn't acknowledge anything that he did as being wrong. And let's just break it down. Let's be honest about this for a minute, right? So let's put aside the whole doxing conversation. Let's put that aside because that is not, while we or people like myself that hold those ideas and beliefs that that's a bad thing, right? He doesn't, right? And so as long as he doesn't think that that's even a thing, then that's an impasse, right? Number one. Number two. So all the stuff comes out about all these different women, right? Now, I'm going to just go on record and say that I don't feel like that there's like, what was 30 something women all of a sudden. I don't think all of those are legit. I think some of those were just bandwagon riders, right? I think there was probably a substantial amount of women, and some of which we've seen some text messages. Okay. There's been some proof, as it were, of this type of thing, right? Between him and her, or Salvo and the woman in particular, right? But you heard where he brought up the whole thing about with Maya, Repsion's former significant other, how, he said, I will release the full text messages or whatever DMs on those things. And he says, I won't be the one with egg on my face. It's kind of like that old meme, how do you kill that which has no life, right? If the person that you're going after, right? The whole thing about the commentary community is when someone does something, right? They say something, or they take a stance, or they do an action that we find irrehensible or we find wrong, right? So we do a video and we show and we rationalize why this is wrong, and we show the evidence, back all this stuff up, right? If that person's base, right? If that person's supporters don't get on board, right, with that and say, yeah, I see the logic, and yeah, this was wrong, and they themselves don't start calling that person out, or either that or walk away from it, or walk away from that creator, right, which affects their pocketbook, right, then there will be no change effect. There will be nothing that will actually occur, right? So here's going to be the real question about all this, right? So all this stuff come out, and the thing that we have to keep in mind, that all this stuff, now, if it wasn't your cup of tea, if you think it's degeneracy, if you think it's whatever, that's fine. That is 100% okay for you to feel that way. But what we have to remember that is this was something that was going on between consenting adults. And so that's why I never really cared one way or the other. I honestly, I did not care. To me, can we laugh? Can we make fun of it? Can we meme on it? 100% we can, right? We can laugh our asses off about it. But as far as trying to hold him accountable for doing something wrong, what did he do wrong? That's going to be his position. That's going to be his statement. That's what he said. What have I done wrong, right? So, anyway.
I didn't do anything illegal, but, I definitely say that you're you were engaged in a lot of degenerate behavior, and that's what a large part of your platform was, exposing fucking freaks like that, right?
No, just flamenco. And you call it degenerate. I call it adults having.
I mean, I guess you could call it consensual, but like what Tipster did was consensual, and you raped. It's consensual, but you raped fucking Tipster's ass for, you know, sexting with all these women, and you're doing the same shit. Like, how do you justify that?
I did.
Yes, you did. You. What do you mean? You called out Tipster for like months for like sexting all these women, and like.
Did I?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Okay, so Assistant Sailor, what I want you to do is go back on that doc stream and hear my take of it. Because I was on that doc stream when the months and months and months and months ago, and I want you to listen to my take on it.
All right.
And then I want you to listen to 6 other Twitter videos, YouTube shorts where my take on sexting is there.
All right. Well, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. So what's your take on sexting then? What do you think about it?
I never cared that Tipster sexted e-girls. And
you bullied him though.
What do you mean, but what? But what?
You bullied him though. You bullied Tipster for it, and I don't blame you.
I did.
Yes.
What did I say?
Your Salvo News team. The Salvo News team attacked Tipster for like months about it, dog. What do you mean?
About him sexting other women?
Yes.
I've never commented on Tipster sexting other women. I think.
So, chat, did Salvo ever really go after Tipster about sexting other women? I want to seem to think that there was some things where he was making fun of Tipster and the whole goth mommies and things like that, right? But I could be mistaken. And I would really have to go. And here's another problem, right? And this is what makes it really difficult on things like this. So unless you were screenshotting every tweet basically that Salvo has done over the last year, it'd be hard to find out or hard to pull up the evidence that if he was or he wasn't. Because he kept getting Twitter accounts banned left and right. Ban after ban after ban after ban. So I don't know. I honestly, truly, I want to think there was something there. I do know that he did mock and ridicule Tipster's wife's disabilities and being in a wheelchair and things like that. Now that I do know, and I think he even admits to that.
I think us laughing that Tipster offered $175 after getting mad that I talked about his wife to promote another female, that's entirely different than sexting, right?
Okay, but you're still making fun of him for doing this like weird degenerate shit, right? Like, and you're doing the same shit.
Okay, you can't see the difference of the two, which is completely fine. I think it's a little bit different, and
So Joey says, I remember him calling Tipster's golf mommies ugly. Can't remember if he went after the sexting. Yeah, see, I don't. I'm with you on that one, Joy. I don't. And I can't say for certain that he did or he didn't, and I won't. I do remember him going after his wife and her disability and stuff like that. I do remember that, though. So, you know, we have a finite time of the morning because I have a very small window. So I'm going to jump on over some of this other stuff because I haven't actually heard it yet. And I do want to listen to it this morning with you guys. So I'm going to jump on over here to... Chris calls in at 32:45, and no disrespect to Chris, fine, whatever. I want to get to where Keem calls in. Keem supposedly calls in around 37:53. Because the reason why I want to get into that one is because a little bit later on in this early initial conversation with Salvo, Assistant Sailor asked him specifically about this pending lawsuit with Salvo or with Keemstar. And Salvo says, what lawsuit? He goes, I don't know what you're talking about. Right. And then he goes on to say, Salvo says, but I think him admitting to forging my name is a lot more of an issue, potentially. So I think Salvo's maybe being very disingenuous there, because if he knows about one, he knows about the other, because both have been talked. What he was referring to is two different stories that were discussed on Tommy C's streams. 2 different days. Keemstar called in. The first one we talked with Tommy for quite a lengthy time, and he revealed on there that yes, he was actually going to, take Salvo to court and take all the money back because of him breaking the NDA. And a subsequent day he called in. He talked about actually taking Salvo's billfold out of the back of his pocket, pulling out his credit card to make him pay for a bar tab one night. Right. And Salvo wouldn't sign the bill. And Keemstar says, I signed it and gave a $40 tip. We played that clip last night on Dave's stream. So that's the two things there for context purposes.
Oh, he's here.
Okay. Well, Salvo, let me say this to you. All right. In a very short period of time, you've been able to build a fan base, get your name out there, do a lot of great stuff. But that was with the help of all Chris, Keemstar, your fans, the Salvo News team, all these people. You needed them to find success. And after this story came out, Salvo, it's been very clear that you've had no loyalty, no respect, no real friendships with anyone. Everybody you betrayed, everybody you were talking shit about, everybody was just like, hey, know that you're still going to make content, which is fine, I guess. But like, you fucked yourself from finding like real success. I know you love this entertainment stuff. You absolutely love it. And you could have had an amazing career, but now you can't because you can't be trusted. You've backstabbed everyone.
So, hey, Keem, I don't know where that narrative is truly coming from. And I'm only hearing that from you.
Me. It's coming from me.
So who did I backstab? I don't get that one.
Well, you backstabbed Chris. You would tell the Salvo News team people everything private, like that's happening at my house.
Hold on, Keem. So you're saying I backstabbed Chris because I said his first and last name, correct?
Yeah, that, and you were plotting to like shut down his Twitch. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that came out.
Yes. Okay. If you want to consider that backstabbing, it's a little dramatic. I'll understand that.
It's not really dramatic when you wanted to take my Twitch channel down because you thought it'd be hee-haw funny to ask Diorio that information and then proceed to call me.
Look, Salvo, you know for a fact that Chris was out there trying to help you in so many different ways.
Okay, hold on a minute. I will gladly talk to Keem, but Keem said one thing. I'm trying to answer that. I disagree that me saying a first and last name is really this big of a deal. I understand the posturing. I do get it. Keem, you also say that I backstabbed the Salvo News team because you're going around. You're the only kind of person saying that I can't be trusted, which I get. But
I'll say that too.
Why, Keem? So you say I backstabbed Chris. I go, I don't think that's that big of a deal, saying a first and last name. You also say that I backstabbed the Salvo News team. Now, how did I backstab the Salvo News team?
Okay. I'm going to answer. And just like when people ask you a question, everyone lets you talk. So let me try to answer that for you. Parking Tigers, which is like your number 2 lieutenant in the Salvo News team, you were constantly talking trash about him, constantly putting him down behind his back. And it appeared based on these chat logs and stuff that came out that you were worried that Parking Tigers was going to like steal your thunder. People on the server thought Parking Tigers was more funny than you. So it just like a lot of this stuff was like building up and you were talking a lot of shit behind Parking Tigers' back. So I consider that a backstab. All right. Clara.
Ooh.
So I'm kind of, I really wish they'd went back and focused on the whole Chris the Narc backstab. Because it wasn't just that he said Chris's legal name on the Keemstar stream that night, right? Chris and Hannah Clark, Hannah the Animal, were actively behind the scenes trying to shut down a person who was actively, and this is the ironic part of it, right? Doxing Salvo, doxing him, doxing his family, doxing everything, right? They were, and because even when Salvo came on Dave's stream for that interview, well, there was someone in the chat, and he asked us to ban them because this was the person who was actively trying to dox him. So it's perplexing to me because Chris and Hannah were out here doing this, trying to protect Salvo and his family. And then Salvo does what he does, and then he goes and reaches out to Nick DiOrio to find out what is the one or two things that he can do that will 100% get Chris banned from Twitch. Because and then Chris, in his own words, when he was telling this story, when he finally came forward with all this stuff and released all this stuff, was luckily he'd gotten a message from Nicholas right after that to warn him about it, because then Salvo started trying to call him while he was streaming on Twitch, and he ignored the calls because he got a heads up of what Salvo was planning. Now, was Salvo really going to do that? Was Salvo going to say those and try to get Chris banned from Twitch? I don't know. We don't know, because it didn't actually, that part of the scenario didn't happen. All we do know is that he was actively out there trying to find out what was terms of service breachment with Twitch. And he made the statement to Nicholas DiOrio that he was going to try to get Chris banned off of Twitch. That's all we do know, right? For 100% certainty. So to me, just putting that stuff out there is a little bit damning. So
talking shit, which is what we both do for a living, is backstabbing. Keem, come on.
Well, that's fine. If you don't see it that way, that's fine. I mean, I do talk shit. You do talk shit. But about our friends, this is why I'm saying you have like no friends, no real friends. Me and Chris were like actually your friends.
Keem, I don't have any real. Yeah, I'm not friends with the people that I only know online. Like, are you crazy?
But we knew you in real life, and you talk shit behind our back.
And you talk shit about behind my back. We all did. Keem, that's just being a human, man. It really is. It's like, I wasn't really doing anything nefarious, but everybody talks shit behind other people's backs. That's kind of just being a human and shit talking.
That's somewhat of a defense. I'll give you that. That's somewhat of a defense.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
I know it is. So you keep claiming that I'm backstabbing people, and it's like, what are you talking about, truthfully?
But if I could continue, you just said that the people that you knew only online were never really your friends. So you were talking shit about me and Chris and plotting all kinds of weird shit to us, all right, with people online that weren't even your friends.
Okay, pause. I don't think I ever plotted anything weird shit behind the back. I brought up that it would be funny to jump onto Chris' stream and say a bunch of slurs. Is that not funny?
No.
Okay, well, I think it's funny, and also I'm allowed to say
retarded.
that. I'm allowed to say that shit. I'm allowed to express what I think would be funny. There's nothing wrong with that. I didn't do it.
So, Keem, let me ask you something. When Salvo was writing in the group chat, when you put out the tweet saying me and Salvo are cool again, Salvo in his Discord writes, he's protecting his memberships. I'm off the show, but we are cool. A couple of minutes after he writes that, he goes, cancel memberships in all caps about the Keemstar show, telling his fan base to do that.
No.
Salvo, wait.
Okay, but again,
hold on. Let me finish my point. Chris, can that be misconstrued as you backstabbing somebody?
No, because Keemstar would do the same thing.
I'm actually fine with that, Chris. I'm fine with him saying that. That's totally fine.
Of course, you fucking idiot, Chris the Nard.
Fucking idiot? Are you serious?
But Salvo, you're also saying to these fucking people that you want us dead. I mean, come on. Like, what the fuck is that?
I mean, that's clear as day. I want you dead.
Salvo, you just fucked up so
Keem.
fucking bad, dude. You had
Keem.
so much potential.
Keem.
Like, why
Keem.
all this weird shit? What is this?
I hope you guys are getting a clear picture here, right? you people wanted people in the commentary, not necessarily me, I guess, because I'm not necessarily anybody, but wanted these creators to call Salvo out, to take him to task, right? But how do you do that? If the person refuses, and here's going to be the test, guys. This is what you have to watch. I'm just kind of telling you. When Salvo comes back and Salvo starts making content on his own channel again, we have to watch to see where does his viewership stay, right? Is he still consistently pulling the 300-400 live viewers and stuff consistently after that, right? Do you see the We Are Salvo in the chat? Do you see the pancakes? Do you see all that, right? If his base comes back, right? If it's still there, right? Then all this stuff here is nothing. It means absolutely positively nothing. The quote degeneracy that was put out on display, right? All that stuff, right? It means nothing. It's nothing, right? If that happens, right? If his base comes back and you see the We Are Salvo, you see the pancakes, you see all these things, right? Now, what I will say, just a little side note here, you will not be able to judge, like say, the first maybe 2 to 3 streams, because people are going to come back just out of curiosity, right? It's almost like when you're driving down the road or something and there's a wreck, people are going to rubberneck, right? They're going to stop. They're going to want to watch and see the wreck, right? They want to see the go war. They want to see the blood, right? So the first few streams, you're not going to be able to judge the numbers, right? What you're going to have to look at is you're going to have to watch, say, the ones that are, say, maybe 3, 4, 5 streams after that, right? Are the numbers holding, or are they starting to go and decline, right? Are people losing interest, right? Because there's like, okay, right? That's going to be the telltale thing, right? Yeah, Captain Putin, he's a milquetoast Sandman. To him, triggering everyone is funny. I don't disagree with that, Captain Poofers. Yes, triggering people is what he does, right? He tries to expose, he tries to get people to respond, he tries to get, whatever, come after him, right? And he's relentless about it. And his base is relentless about it, right? I don't argue that. It's going to be, like I said, we're going to have to see really what happens. Where do we go from here? What happens with his base? Do they come back to him? That's because, I mean, it's quite obviously, listening to this conversation here between Chris and Salvo, Keemstar and Salvo, he is not going to be held accountable. He refuses. He has a way to twist and turn everything to where there is nothing is put in his lap. He is not going to be, it's just not.
Keem, listen, I get you posturing with a big stance, but I know teams are the nothing burger, and you know it. This is like fucking juvenile.
Well, you're gonna be bullied till the end of time for the PP shit. Come on.
EDP shit.
PP shit. Peeing.
Oh, well, obviously. Right. But Keem, I did that to myself, so I was aware of, so it's like, obviously, but that doesn't bother me. I'm the one talking about it.
I just wish, right, this golden opportunity that you had, that you would have developed real friends and didn't talk shit about everyone and didn't try to do all these gay ops with these Salvo News team nonstop.
We already talked about all this, and you agree on all my take. Responding to that It's not really that. It's very nuanced, and it's not so much of, I don't know, like you're coming at it that I can't be trusted and you wanted me to make friends. Well, Keem, I didn't backstab, in your words, anybody until they kind of exposed me. So I'm glad that I never thought of them as friends. I would have been heartbroken right now. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, obviously, you know how like you're talking to multiple girls and they don't know that you're talking to them and whatnot. And some of the weird shit that's being said, I mean, they all feel like they've been backstabbed.
No, they don't.
I mean, Clara's pretty fucking upset, bro. Clara thought she was in a real relationship with you.
Okay, but again, I can't talk about Clara because I'm suing her for a million different things and she's fucked. But no, I don't think any of these girls regret anything.
He's suing Clara just like he's sued Deaf Noodles, guys. Just, yeah.
Truthfully, I think that they were treated with the utmost respect from the get-go until the last.
Shut up, Siri.
It's like there's no manipulation. There was even no meanness or rudeness. So they could do whatever. So they could say anything. They can do anything.
What about the story of making the like disabled girl, and I don't really know all her disabilities, drinking the pee and licking the pee?
You want the story behind that? Again, we want to talk about, I don't. Okay. So the story, what's the story behind that? I mean, like,
So
that's kind of.
There's two incidences. Like, one, that you took advantage of this girl, right? Because she's like has a bunch of
I
disabilities.
disagree. Keem.
Okay, go ahead.
You can't be saying that I took advantage of this girl. I don't agree with that. She doesn't agree with that. So why are you saying it?
I'm saying that not from, this is Keemstar's opinion. I'm saying that because Clara posted out a conversation that you had with this girl, that you took advantage of this girl, and that this girl is now suicidal because of you taking advantage of her.
So
this is Clara's story.
Somebody else. So thank you for clarifying that. So somebody else is claiming that that person was taken advantage of. So do you?
I don't understand the question. What do you mean?
Do you think?
Oh, Jesus, listen. I'm okay. Fine. There may be more there. I don't know. I'm jumping to when Nick comes in. At least Nick has a tendency. I'll say this: Nick has a tendency to be a little bit more tenacious about holding people's feet to the fire.
I just want to ask a question. How does it feel?
How does it feel, brother?
What do you mean? I love this game. This is my game to play. You know, I like being in the hot seat. I'm
not talking about the hot seat,
Nick.
Salvo.
Can you wait? Nick,
no. I just want to ask one. I just want to know, like, how does it feel? You're having your first fireside chat. Keemstar is just really trying to get through to you. Chris the Narc's here, just trying to talk you out of it. Get off the ledge, Salvo.
Well, again,
I tell you to jump.
You're acting like flamenco right now, dude. Honestly.
Man. Okay, Chris, again, I want you to go back and really review how Flamenco acted in these conversations.
Okay, Flam. All right, Flam. All
right. Guys, if I could get back to this, like there's like two serious claims, and I really want you to respond to this. Some girl licks the pee and stuff, and obviously that did happen, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything that was leaked, Keem. I think you reviewed it all.
Let me ask you a question, all right? At one point in this sexting, did you make a girl lick pee out of the toilet and on the ground?
No, because I can't make anybody do anything from a phone.
Okay, did you ask somebody to do that? How about that?
Ooh, crickets.
Again, I didn't see the text messages.
So the answer is yes, he did.
But I'll take your word for it. Did I say that?
Okay. So the woman that did that told Clara that that she has all. I wish Clara was here to better represent the story, but
so here's a problem, right? Because I'll be honest with you, because I haven't looked into the whole DGN thing and stuff, right? So I don't know. Was this a deal where all these women came to Clara and then Clara told the story? If that's the case, I mean, you want to talk about a game of party line, right? Well, this one said this, and this is what I heard, but that's not what they said, and this was my interpretation. Dude, you have to get things from the horse's mouth. You have to have the person tell the story, right? Or you have to have the transcripts, the text messages back and forth. You have to have something, right? Exactly. He pauses means how can I answer but avoid actually answering? Exactly. Salvo knows whether or not if he text messaged somebody asking them to engage in this P play. He knows this, right? The problem is there really any actual, hang on here. We got a donation here. Let's deal with this. Assface McGee tips $5, says it really is concerning how Salvo waits for everyone to explain every little thing to him so he can twist and run circles. Keem knows Salvo isn't saying Clara. That would mean he would have to spend about $100K to start the proceedings from here to UK. Well, possibly. Yeah. I mean, again, it's one of these deals where, he is not. Again, guys, you cannot, I don't know how many times to say this. Trying to hold Salvo's feet to the fire would actually mean that Salvo would have to admit that he's done something wrong. Salvo's not going to admit that he's done anything wrong. It's almost kind of like, it's like this. Have any of you guys ever been fishing and you actually caught like a river eel, right? If you catch a river eel and you go to try to take that thing off the hook, you can't. They're so slimy and so slick that your hands will not be able to grip them, right? What we would have to do, right, when we caught one of these things, is we'd have to go get some sand and roll those things in sand and get enough sand on their bodies and the mucus that covered them, right, so that we could actually grip them to take the hooks out of them, right? 100%. And that's what it is. Somebody somewhere, something, if it's possible, which I don't even know if it is possible, is going to have to get enough sand to roll Salvo in to where you can actually grip him and make him sit still to be able to hold him to task. I'm not seeing it happen.
The way I remember it is the woman has a lot of mental disabilities, all right, that did this with you, all right? And she feels like she's been taken advantage. Her family feels like she's been taken advantage of. This is a 20-year-old girl, by the way. And she's now been put in like some type of home because she's so embarrassed about what she did for you that she's suicidal.
She leaked it all. She made it public. And I have other text messages to prove that. I didn't know that she felt uncomfortable at all, or her family. So again, this is all news to me. I didn't make any of this public. And all that I knew from literally into the moment that this came out was that she had no problem with me. So,
okay. Here's the other serious story then. That's your response and that's fine, right? Here's the other serious story that came out about you. Ashers, right?
Oh yeah, let's talk about this fucking retard.
Okay. So with Ashers, according to these DMs that come out, basically you're saying you're trying to jerk off or whatever, and Ashers is telling you that she's not interested, and you keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. Do you feel guilty with that?
Okay, so two things there. I'll gladly respond to the Ashers thing, but you're now claiming, because Keemstar is claiming a lot of things that I was pushing things and other things. Does Keemstar, Daniel Keem, think that I was pushing it with Ashers? Because
my opinion,
you can ask a question and then you can state your opinion with the question. That I want to get reality out of Keem. So,
well, my opinion based on the screenshots that I've seen is that you did cross the line with Ashers, but you told me.
That's not what I asked. I asked Daniel Keem if Daniel Keem thinks that I was pushing the line and pushing and pushing and pushing with Ashers. What do you think? Yes or no?
Based on the screenshots that I've seen, yeah.
Okay. Completely fair. So about 150 eyewitnesses. I was publicly fucking with her because I always fuck with Asher. So all this was happening in a main Discord chat team. And then I took it to the private messages and told her that, and immediately took a screenshot and posted it back into the main. So, in my eyes, very transparent to myself and everybody who witnessed it, because it was clear as day as what it is. Now, what it is, that's up to other people to kind of decipher on their own. I look at it, I was fucking with her, and everybody and Ashers knew at the time what it was. That's all that it was.
Follow-up question. Do you think Parking Tigers, CJ Brown, all these people that have been talking to Ashers privately nonstop?
Dude, who the fuck cares about these women? Holy shit. Why do we have to listen to all of this? Are we going to go through every single fucking girl? I just want to ask why the internet funny guy is getting so fucking mad all the time.
So, Diorio, thank you for calling me funny. But I don't think that I'm getting mad. I think that
it's so not mad with your third tweet back is fucking private information, or I guess not private, but identifying information about your body.
The two girls
nobody cares about the girls, Keem. Nobody gives a shit.
There you go.
They do.
No, the serious shit is we got Salvo over here who got really mad at Chris, and he yelled his little name on that live stream. That's a little. This is the just for jokes guy. All of a sudden, I guess he's just mad at the internet now.
Well, again, we can argue that, if it was coming out of a place of anger or not, or, I can be like, yes.
No, we can't argue. It's pretty fucking obvious it is, and everybody kind of seems to think so. Listen, Salvo, your shtick got old. Here we are. Now we're talking about it.
See, this is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for Nick. So I think business may be about to pick up.
Yeah. Okay. So what's going to happen when I don't stop and everyone continues to watch?
Well, Flamenco's been pretty mad about the 70 concurrent he's been holding for a little while. So you're currently on that trajectory, I'd say.
You say that? We'll see. Long term. I've been right. I've been right all year, Nick. I don't think that I'll be wrong again.
You've been right all year. This is going well for you. How's your wife?
Well, don't fucking talk about my wife.
Oh, don't talk about your wife, but Tipster's wife's right on the menu. She's prime real estate.
Don't fucking talk about my wife. Ever.
Why? Why is she gonna come over to my house next?
Ever. Off limits.
Off limits.
You should know better.
See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. That fake outrage, right? Now, I'm hoping Nick is knows this stick or this ruse, right? It's a fake outrage. He doesn't care that he's talking about his wife, guys. He doesn't, 100%, right? Remember when Paige UK, Petty Page, the young lady, she did the little video, right? And she blacked out, or not blacked out, but she put the little smiley face, whatever it was, covering up Salvo's wife, and she, and she was cautioning Salvo about putting people's, identities out there and so forth, right? I mean, remember that whole thing, right? And then what did Salvo do the very next stream? He came on with a T-shirt that has wife's picture on it, right? This right here, he's not mad. This is all part of his trying to draw attention that, or make fun of this, because again, we have to understand that things that we find bad, right, that we have that is our quote moral guides or whatever, doesn't exist for him.
I should know better?
Yes.
I don't know why you're pretending to get so outraged right now. You don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
I thought that it was clear as day that I'm angry.
Yeah.
Pretending,
a good one, buddy.
Salvo, I got a better question. I finally got permission now.
You finally have a good question, Keem.
Abs, Edwin's girlfriend, would like me to ask you about the car ride back to Ohio. What happened there?
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, she's more than welcome to share it on your program or something.
Wow.
Well, the story she told me in private is that, it was like a Me Too situation where you were driving with your dick out, beating to her in the back when she didn't appreciate it, didn't want it.
Yeah, not true.
Holy shit.
Interesting.
Guys, did I just hear that shit right? Did Keemstar just say Babs makes the accusation that when they were driving back from the Keemstar show that him and Edwin and Babs was on. Did I just hear that right? Let me back that the hell up. I want to make sure I heard that shit right.
Her in the back with me in private is that.
I don't know. I mean, she's more than welcome to share it on your program or something.
What?
Well, the story she told me in private is that, it was like a Me Too situation where you were driving with your dick out, beating to her in the back when she didn't appreciate it, didn't want it.
Yeah.
Holy hell. Jesus Christ.
Not true.
Interesting.
Any other questions?
Well, I talked to Edwin already, and he confirmed that is true. So that's 2 people in the car confirming that did happen.
Wow.
Okay. It just added to the list.
Okay, so Keem did bring up one good point. I guess maybe I don't know. That was
I brought up multiple, but you're just focused on laughing at Salvo.
Okay, but all right. You know what? Okay.
I did have someone message me to clarify a few things. The BPD girl is not currently in a home, but she is mentally struggling. And Clara was clearly told she was that Salvo was getting a divorce, as you can see by the screenshots I have up on stream right now. So
that's what I want. Okay, I honestly, Kim, I think that you're doing a bang up job. I'm gonna let you whatever you want to do, buddy. I will. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Chris, you too. You're doing a good job too.
Salvo, you're doing great.
Thank you, Kim.
Thanks, guys. All right. Damn. I mean, Keemstar, do you have any more emotions that maybe like you have to express to you have how do you feel about Salvo now? Do you fucking hate him? Do you want to like rip his guts out, or do you just feel bad for him, like pity?
All right. According to what timestamps I have, I think one of those happens is I think here in just a little bit, Smaggle calls in, and Salvo gets mad because he doesn't like Smaggle, whatever. And then shortly thereafter, Salvo leaves. So I think that's pretty much the gist of that. Oh my God. So, guys, this is a hell of a lot of stuff, man. I just didn't have one damn cup of coffee this morning. Driving with his dick out. Yeah, evidently he was driving with his dick out, beating it no less to the girl in the back, Babs. And supposedly Edwin confirmed it. I don't listen. I think I'm gonna close it with this, and I'm gonna reiterate what I said. And Salvo touches it too, because Nick said, he brought up the whole, 70 viewers and stuff, right? Which is basically what I'm saying. Time is only going to tell on this, right? Is Salvo's base going to come back and stay with him? Is he going to continue to pull, 300 and 400 viewers? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, is Salvo truly ushering in a new era in this community? I've been watching and stuff, and been, I guess, in this community since about 2016 or so, 15. And I honestly, I have never ever seen anyone with this much of a whirlwind around them be allowed to stay, be allowed to thrive, be allowed to do anything, right? Because in each and every one of these cases, when any type of allegations or things like this would come forward, they would come on, make a typical YouTube horrible apology, and disappear for a little while, and then try to come back and try to have a career of some sort, right? And either A, sometimes they made it, or sometimes they were relegated to a law cow type, where they would have a few people watch them, and they tried to ink out a existence, right? I honestly don't know, because Salvo is not being apologetic. Salvo doesn't admit to anything being wrong. I think it's probably safe to say that some of the people that was in this inner circle of his, like Parking Tigers, he's already released his picture and his full name, and promises there's going to be more to come. CJ Brown is probably going to be another one that's going to be on his list of people to address. Possibly Clara, maybe even some of these girls. I don't know. Oh, Jesus wept. All right, listen, guys. I've got to get to work. I'm already late. So let me do a real quick recap or wrap up here. Tune in to Dave's show tonight. Something tells me there's going to be more. There's going to be so much more to talk about. I think this is the tip, right? There's so much more to the iceberg. Definitely sounds like we need to, all of us need to be tuned in and watching Tommy's show today. I think, and depending on the questions and how things go there, that one could be some real revelations. I would have loved for the whole, Keemstar lawsuit that he put forth with Salvo. I would have loved for that to have been brought up, and maybe it was in this stream and we just didn't get to it. We didn't miss it. And if we did, I apologize. But again, there was so much there. I have to sleep sometime. So it is what it is. You know what? I'm going to do this dude a solid because I think it's warranted here. Here's the link right here. There's the link to the stream. That's a link to Assistant Sailor stream in case you guys, because I was not aware of this guy. And again, no disrespect to the dude. I just didn't know. I'm not aware of him. Go give his stream a listen for yourself after this one. But definitely check, keep an eye on my Twitter, keep an eye on Dave's Twitter for the, announcement tonight. It is Willie Mack Wednesday. Willie Mack has had, interaction conversations. Maybe that'll be a topic of conversation tonight with his talks with Salvo. Watch Tommy's stream today. I don't know. Let's take let me see real quick. Is Nerdy doing a live stream after this? Let's see here. Nerdy John. Yeah, he does. Okay. So right here we go. Nerdy John is going to have a live stream after this. I think looks like he's going to be talking about it as well, right? Here we go. There's a link to his. There's Nerdy John's stream. I can't rate him, or I 100% would. He's going live in about 15 minutes. Go give Nerdy carry this same energy. Go over there and listen to him. Looks like he's going to be talking about some of this stuff too. Guys, keep your powder dry, and I'll see you in the funny papers.